rather interesting and unusual subject on Non-League Chat, which is ground hopping, which is a phenomenon that some of you may have heard of and some of you may not have heard of, where you try and essentially visit different grounds every week where possible. And much like you would do with your Panini sticker album when you were a kid, you try and collect them all. And I'm delighted to say we're joined by Rob Hornby from the Notts Senior League Groundhop Day. Good evening, Rob.
Good evening.
So, take us back, because you've got quite a life story here. So you're a West Brom fan.
Yes.
And suddenly you get cancer.
Yes, I did. I had Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Not from the football, by the way.
No, not at all. No, the football weren't that bad.
Now, tell us about what happened next then.
Basically, I had Hodgkin's lymphoma and I was in hospital having chemotherapy. Picked up the Nottingham Evening Post and saw that Dunkirk Football Club, which was only round the corner from where I lived at the time, were in their first ever FA Vars match. I was out of hospital for the weekend and thought, well, I'll take a walk down, have a look what it's all about, and basically caught the bug of non-league football from there.
So how did this... Obviously, that gets you into non-league football.
Yeah.
But most people who follow non-league football aren't necessarily ground hoppers. So how did that come about?
Right. Basically, I went up to Durham for the first ground hop that the Northern League had back in 1993.
The year I was born, just to make
obviously,
you feel
it kept going, and then I went to the South Western League one, and then I joined the Central Midlands Football League 13 years ago. And I put it forward to the committee that, shall we do a ground hop? They basically sort of said, well, can you guarantee 100 people turning up at every game? I basically said, well, I can't guarantee anybody unless we give it a go. So we did, and we had 301 people turn up at the first game, when the normal crowd at Greenwood Meadows at the time was about 6 to 9 people.
Wow.
So you can see, for a club like that, it's a very big honeypot for them, sort of thing, a windfall for them. And that.
Hi, Rob, it's Will here.
Hello, Will.
So this ground hopping is a relatively new concept to me, and I'm sure there's people at home who haven't heard about it before. Could you just briefly explain what it is, how it works? I understand you try and go to a game every weekend.
Yes, there's lots of ground hoppers about. They try and tick a different ground hop every week. Some even jump on the train into Belgium, France, all over the place now because they're non-league over there. There's a lot of people that are part of the 92 club that's done all 92 Football League clubs. Then they've done like the conference, then they've done conference north-south, etc. And they work this way right down the leagues as such. But I'd just like to say something about one of the chaps has mentioned, just the Shrewsbury Town chap, about people getting to know the supporters, etc., at a lower level. Some of these clubs, as you go further down the level, it's like one man and his band, sort of thing. The guy's the manager, bucket man, physio, puts the nets up, takes the nets down, makes the cups of tea and coffee at half-time, etc. But he knows every fan that comes along every week. And against you, sort of Manchester United, where you're just a number and not a face. And
that's absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's the old idea of a football fan being viewed as a consumer rather than a fan, and that is, of course, a terrible thing. Mm. So
the beauty about the ground hops is it's so cheap. It's the cheapness. It's about ticking 5 games off in a weekend, so people haven't got to travel, say, up to Nottingham 5 times in the car using 5 lots of petrol. Some of the clubs don't normally do programmes, so they get a programme as well, because they have to do a programme on the ground up, and also do a metal badge as well. And all the food, it's about £2.50. So it's not extortionate, it's cheap and cheerful.
And just quickly tell us where people can go to get involved in this year's ground hop.
Yeah, right. They can email me on hornby60uk@yahoo.co.uk, or they can get in touch with me via Twitter, hashtag Rob Hornby. The 5 matches on the ground up, by the way, it's Friday the 24th of April, there's 1 match on the evening, and there's 4 matches at 4 different grounds on Saturday the 25th of April. and it's £15, and that includes admission to all 5 grounds and a pack of all 5 programmes as well.
I mean, you touched upon how cheap it is to go to these grounds. I understand that you donate 25p for every goal that you see to charity. Can you explain a bit more about this?
Yeah, each year I've got a blog called Around the Grounds. If you just go to Google and put Around the Grounds 2014 minus 15 in, it will come up. I sponsor myself 25p every goal that I see scored throughout the season, and clubs donate money as well. And also at the Groundhop, my wife runs a charity store with loads and loads of programmes, or mainly non-league, from all over the country. And last year we raised over £1,250 for disabled adults at a centre. The year before it was over £800 for the cancer unit where I was treated. Also epileptic. We raised over £500 for the epilepsy unit the year before.
Brilliant.
This year we're doing it for sport dogs. I've got a little boy who's autistic, and these dogs help autistic people, epilepsy people, etc. Yeah. And so far we've raised just over £340 so far. And
tell me about some of the unusual habits that these hoppers have that you were mentioning to me earlier in the week for everybody.
Well, we do get people that don't class it as a ground they've been to if they don't see a goal scored. We do get people that must touch the football, touch crossbar, must get the team lineups. Some of them look back. Funny enough, talking about you're talking to a scout in a bit. On one of my first hops that I actually organised, Liam Hearn, who plays for Mansfield Town now, who was at Grimsby and Alfreton, was actually spotted on one of my ground hops.
And you've been doing this for a number of years now. How many grounds have you managed to get to?
I've no idea. I've never counted. My boy's 10. As I say, he's got autism, and he's been to just over 500 different grounds.
Is there a particular game or ground that sticks out in your mind?
Not really, because all grounds are different. Like some, I'll go and watch a match on a Parks pitch, but then again I'll go to Wembley Stadium, sort of thing. I don't particularly like the Wembley Stadiums or the Football League or even the Conference, because it's too high a level for me, sort of thing. I'll only go as far as step 5 on the pyramid. Myself. So round here, I was at a step 6 ground the other night, Clipston, but I do go around all the local grounds around here, Clipston, Rainworth, and also all the not senior league grounds as well. And when I'm on holiday, because we go to Cornwall every year, I end up going around pretty much all the Cornish grounds as well.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time, Rob, publicising an excellent cause.
That's fine. If anybody wants any more details and can't find me, they can always get in touch with you, Michael. And
we'll tweet the links on Sports Tonight Live as well.
For me.
Yeah, will do. Thank you very much for your time, Rob.
Thank you for your time.
Cheers.
Okay, bye-bye.